For this assignment we were tasked with making the board game, one that showed meaningful play as well as shows elements of MDA or FFE. We came up with this game called Goblin Rush. Here's how to play.
So at the start of the game, everyone picks a player token from A to D. A goes first, and then it goes clockwise from there. The battle cards are shuffled and placed in the centre of the play area. At the start of the game, everyone collects 2 gold from the gold pile and draws 2 cards. The game then starts. On a player's turn, they have 3 potential actions. They can take 1 gold from the gold pile, purchase a card, or initiate a battle. The shop is a deck of cards in the middle. Cards cost 1 gold for 2 cards. If you have less than 3 cards, if you have 3 cards or more cards, then you have to pay 2 gold, and you cannot have more than 5 cards in your hand at one time. Finally, you can initiate a battle. There are 4 types of cards in this game. Each card adds attacks to your team. The game ends after any player has a score worth 20 gold. When a battle is initiated, the player declares who they're attacking, then the attacker bribes other players to join the team of gold. The person being attacked can then counter the bribe. The people who have been bribed then choose what bribe to accept, if any. Players may decide to avoid combat if they have not yet been attacked. After all the players have agreed to combat, then place cards face down and discuss the claims what they have. Players then have a chance to remove cards. Once everything has been agreed to, all players flip their cards. The player has an initial value of 1 for each player on their side, including themselves. The team with the higher point value wins. If both teams have an equal amount of points and all players in the battle lose 1 gold, and all bribes are kept. Any card used in combat is discarded and goes back to the bottom of the deck. The attacker or defender who won gets a winner token worth 5 gold. The people who have been bribed and won only get the gold they were bribed with. When the attacker or defender loses, they lose 2 gold and their allies all lose 1 gold but keep their bribe money. Also, when you go back to player A's turn, everyone picks up 1 gold. We took great inspiration from the game King of Tokyo, made by Richard Garfield, as it had strong gameplay element of battling, the person in lead, and needs a good sense of prediction. Draco, we used the game components to create a demo of this game. This worked really well as normal paper pieces where you were cutting out and printing were disrupting the game progress. After we agreed on the main rules, we created our own card designs and printed it off to use for further game tests. We had many ideas for what cards to implement in the game. We experimented with the idea of a shield card, which would block a certain amount of damage, but found out it resulted in a huge amount of draws. Also, the shield card was very similar to the sword card in that it just changed the amount of damage value the player had. We also had an idea for a money bag item, which when played could remove the threat of losing gold after a battle, although we found that players in the lead would become too unstoppable, and players who were losing would feel cheated. We ended up going with a simple approach by using only sword cards with different values that made the game much less complex and easier to grasp.
Meaningful play describes the relationship between a player's action and the way a game system responds to that action. In this particular game, a player can start a battle with other player. Winning the battle will reward the player with gold, and collecting gold is essentially the way to victory. At the start of the game, each player has 3 options, which are to take gold from the gold pile, buy a battle card from the shop, or start a battle. This game shows 3 core components: prediction, fellowship, and collection. Predicting whether your opponent has better battle cards than you or is just trying to bluff their way to victory is an important factor. If a player decides to fight with you and a battle breaks out, you can use your battle cards to power over your opponent, pay another player to help you with the battle, and possibly convince them to use the battle cards. But losing a battle will result in losing all the used cards and an amount of gold while putting the opponent in lead. If a battle broke out between 2 opponents, you can either stay out of it or join forces with a player and help them win a battle, as allies of the winner get some gold as well. This enables fellowship or short-term partnership. Winning a battle rewards the winner with victory token, but their allies get some gold as well, which directly leads to the third dynamic of the game, collection. Collecting a set amount of gold will result in victory, but gold is also used to buy battle cards and to pay short-term partners. Starting a battle, collecting gold, buying battle cards, and helping other players all have impact on one's gameplay and the final result, hence evoking meaningful gameplay. We chose MDA as our framework because we believe our mechanics play off each other constantly and that MDA is more suited for designing less complex games such as ours.
In playtesting, we tested people of many different ages from 15 to 60. What we found was that learning to play can be very complicated, but after a couple of games they got it. After playing, we gave testers a form to fill out in terms of if they enjoyed the time they were playing, which they did, as well as suggestions and data on dominant strategies, including the ones who won.
In conclusion, we believe that this board game can accommodate 4 or more players and is recommended for age ranges of 12 and above. It took a while to design this board game, but we're very pleased with the result. And we think this game is perfect for getting to know a group by encouraging players to form alliances while creating competition. It was extremely rewarding when any time a player smiled or playfully bickered with one another. We only wish that we could have playtested this more to tinker with the rules, but we're very happy about how this board game came out.